Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about holistic living, living holistically, holistic lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. Today we're basically diving deep and figuring out what holistic living actually means, and I'm giving you 8 lessons that I've learned throughout my own journey with holistic living. So if you want to find out more, stay tuned and let's hop into the rest of the video. Hello there again guys, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Greta from Greta.com for those of you who are new here, and I basically talk about spirituality, self-development, and holistic living and all of that juicy stuff. Juicy. So as already mentioned, today we're talking about holistic living and I'm sharing some of my own lessons, and whether you choose to agree with these things or disagree, it's completely your own right, and I actually would appreciate your input and kind of your own opinion down in the comments below. So first of all, I just want to kick off with basically explaining a general description, understanding of what holistic living means, and it's in essence taking care of your mental body, your physical body, and your spiritual body. So to me personally, that simply means establishing a conversation with yourself, listening to your own needs without neglecting other areas of your life. But I do want to invite you to kind of figure out what that means to you, because everyone's, let's say, holistic lifestyle is gonna look different. And for some of us, maybe running is something that is part of their holistic routine. For another person, just having a nap midday may be part of their holistic lifestyle. So there's no right or wrong when it comes to this topic. So first of all, I want to share my number one lesson, which is the most important lesson that I'm going to share with you throughout this video, and it's not running away from your problems. And I feel like within our community, the community that I actually kind of belong to a little bit, like the spiritual law of attraction community, I feel like there is a little bit of toxicity there, because there's a lot of talk about being positive, focusing on the positive, just basically, you know, you attract what you are and all of that jazz. And while I do think that so many content creators are amazing at making sure that you don't ignore your problems, there is some of that toxicity within this community, and I want to kind of take the chance and address that. I do not think that having problems, issues, failing, making mistakes, and all of that is somehow wrong, or somehow it makes you worse than others. We all go through that. It's a natural part of our lives, and to me personally, how you deal with those problems shows more about you as a person than you you demonstrating how you can ignore, how well you are at ignoring those problems. And I said it in the past, and I will say it over and over again: your problems, when ignored, they scream louder. So I feel like it's very important for us to address those problems, work through them, and it's completely fine to give your undivided attention to those problems. Yes, it's important to maintain a positive outlook, to be grateful for whatever you have in your life, but let's not take it to extremes, and let's actually work through our issues, learn the lesson, and then move on. The second lesson that I've learned throughout my journey is basically understanding my impact on things in general, whether those would be my relationships or they would be just global problems, global issues. I try to always make sure that I'm doing the best that I can for my own end. So essentially, as I said, understanding your impact. In your relationships, for example, to me personally, that means that there is no room for lying, cheating, manipulation, ego, and I try to always do my best. Of course, we all can get sad, angry, all of that, but just trying to do your very best in every situation. And on a global scale, I would say that it's, to me personally, it's reducing plastic, recycling, living as sustainably as possible. I'm a vegan as well, and just understanding what your beliefs and your values are and living according to them. And again, I will repeat, understanding the impact that you have over every single situation. Number 3, the third lesson that I've learned is the importance of developing my intuition. So I do think that whether you want to look at it from the scientific point of view or from the spiritual point of view, we do have a sixth sense, and I feel like usually, if something feels off, it probably is. And I do believe that developing those intuitive abilities can really take us to the next level. It can help us avoid problematic situations and make maybe decisions that are right for us. So I do very much encourage you to kind of develop your intuitive abilities and dive deeper. How you choose to do that is completely up to you, whether it's using divination, tools, cards, meditating, or doing any other practices that can help you with your intuition. That is your own choice. Now, lesson number 4 is learning to say no. And it's one of the most important lessons that I've learned throughout my life. I really had a big problem with saying no in the past. And I do feel like for me, being able to say no and understanding that I have that power is a big part of my, let's say, holistic lifestyle. I do want to encourage you guys to remember and understand that this is the power that you've been born with, and it's okay to say no. If there is a situation that is not a matter of life and death and it can survive without you being in that situation, say no if you feel like it. You don't have to participate in every single social gathering, in every single situation in your life. You can say no if you feel like it, and understand that you have that power. I do think that it takes time to kind of feel comfortable with it if you're one of those people who have a hard time saying no, but I think it's totally worth it. Now, lesson number 5, which I cannot skip when talking about holistic living, and it's understanding the importance of your diet. So I'm not a dietitian. I'm not going to tell you what to eat or how to eat. I'm not certified in this field, but I do think that personally for me, intuitive eating has changed the game. I do believe that this is the best way to eat, and also understand not only the physical importance, the impact that your diet has on your physical performance, but the impact that your diet has on your spiritual performance as well. Eat mostly whole foods, nutritious food, nutrient-dense foods. Avoid eating processed foods. Of course, sometimes if you crave junk food, do it, girl, whatever you want to do. But I just mean focusing on having a rather healthy diet. So the more processed something is, the less nutritious it is, and the less beneficial it is to us physically and spiritually as well. And I do want to mention that I do believe that certain foods carry, let's say, low vibrational energies and frequencies, especially if it's processed foods. And as a vegan, I do believe that animal products, they vibrate at a very low frequency, simply because there's a lot of torture involved, a lot of just not nice things. I'm not gonna dive too deep when it comes to this topic. I don't want to trigger anyone in this video, but I think that again, it's important for you to understand your values, your beliefs, and to me personally, I don't think that I have that right to pay somebody to kill an animal. I don't believe that dairy industry is an ethical industry as well. I don't eat fish. Basically, just I'm a supporter of vegan diet, although I do know that, and I do want to make it abundantly clear, there are people who struggle to put any food on their tables, let alone focus and worry about, how to be plant-based. And there are people who have certain health conditions that may not necessarily be compatible with a vegan diet. So I completely understand that, and I don't want to make it out to be like veganism is the only way to go. I do think that it's a big privilege to be able to lead this kind of a lifestyle. Number 6, the 6th lesson that I've learned and kind of keep on learning is the importance of giving and receiving and just keeping the circle going. So don't be just a giver, don't be just a taker. If you need help, if you are just giving and giving and giving all the time, learn to be okay with accepting, help from other people. Be okay with asking for help when it is needed. And at the same time, if you only take, understand the importance of giving back. How you choose to do that, again, is up to you, whether you want to financially support a charity, whether you want to donate clothes or maybe do some volunteer work, or if you cannot do that, you can just look around you, and there are so many people within your own circle, your loved ones, your friends, that maybe need some help in some particular situation, and you can help them. So there are so many different ways, and giving back in any way that you possibly can is so important. The 7th lesson that I've learned throughout my journey with holistic living is learning to slow down. And basically, we all know that we run everywhere. Like we don't actually run, we don't physically run places.
Okay, I'm running.
But the lifestyle that most of us lead is so fast-paced, and we're constantly trying to catch the future. We're constantly thinking about the future. But I do think that it's important for us all to find activities and set routines within our lives that kind of make us come back into the present moment. That feeling when you enjoy something so much that you just lose the sense of time, and in a way you're no longer focusing on time, you're no longer focusing on matter, and you're kind of not in this 3D world anymore, and you just lose yourself completely within that activity. So I do think that it's important to find something that makes you feel that way, makes you feel happy, makes you feel passionate, and it just feels like time almost stops. So again, de-stressing and just keeping yourself happy and knowing what makes you happy in your life. And also, I do believe that reflection is such an important part of our lives, and some of us don't do it enough. We, again, focus so much on the future and the things that we want to achieve that we forget to actually reflect on how much we've already achieved. And whether you want to do it with your entire life, just like looking back what you achieved throughout your entire life, or what you achieved in the past year, that is completely up to you. But I think that celebrating your wins and even celebrating your losses and seeing, what lessons did I learn this past year, it's such an important thing. And number 8 is establishing a good relationship with your sleep. I never understood those motivational speakers that shout like, you're gonna sleep when you're dead or whatever. Like, this is no. Like, how are you even supposed to function? I cannot function if I don't have a good night's rest, let alone be productive and do anything productive with my life. So I do think that sleep is extremely important, and how many hours you need, it's gonna differ, and Some people, may find that 5 hours for them is like good. I'm good to go. For some people, maybe 10 hours is the optimal time. So again, I'm not an expert, but I do know that sleep is very important. And just try to make sure that there are some things that you follow within your sleep routine, like just basically preparing your space, not using electronics before bed because of the blue light, not working in your bed to signal your body that this space is only for sleeping, and all of that jazz. I do have a video on how to sleep like a baby. I will leave it somewhere here in the corner or here. I don't know which corner. I'm bad at this. Like at how it's actually, okay, whatever. I'm gonna leave it somewhere in the corner. So if you want to check out that video, go ahead. But just to emphasize, your sleep is very important and you need to have your own rhythm. If you do have an opportunity to have a schedule, like a very stable schedule with your sleep, if you have a stable work schedule that allows you to do that, then go ahead and do that. That's the most amazing thing that you can do for your rest and for your sleep. But if you can't, then I encourage you to just try your very best to follow some of the routines that can help you increase the quality of sleep. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting me share my lessons, share my thoughts, and if I inspired you in any way, please do let me know. I hope that I was able to open up some new areas in your life, so maybe some new thoughts, maybe, perhaps. Thanks again. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.